Hi, I'm Marissa Paragano, also known as the Tequila Encyclopedia, and I'm here with a man who needs no introduction, Sergio Vivanco of Viva Mexico and NOM 1414 and a million other incredible tequila projects. And we are in the Flatiron District of Manhattan at Skurnik headquarters. How are you today?
I'm fine, and I'm very happy to be here.
Me too. The honor is all mine. Obviously, you've created some incredible profiles over the years, particularly Viva Mexico, which is your house brand. And can you tell us a little bit about that and just what started it and maybe what's behind the name, what's behind just having your own house brand out of NOM 1414?
Yeah, certainly. Uh, well, this is something new for me to be here with a microphone in front of me, but I'm gonna try to explain. I always start that this is a family business, and this family business is 5 generations growing agave. So we are people from the field, and we are rancheros, and we feel proud of this. And we are 3 generations making tequila. At the beginning, in the 80s, we don't like the tequila that we did, so. But at the 1994, we start making a very good tequila. Since there, we are taking care of a lot of details of the tequila. The process of the tequila is very simple. It's the harvest, cooking, extraction, fermentation, distillation, and aging. But if those are the steps that you're supposed to do with tequila, what makes the good tequilas and the bad tequilas? The details that you take care since the field in every single step. So that's the reason, and we have been taking care. In our distillery, we have 4 master distillers, 2 of them from the University Autónoma of Guadalajara, and the other 2, my brother and I. It's because of the experience. And we have been taking care of the small details. If you wanna go deep in this conversation, we'll let you know some of them, not all of them. We could keep secrets.
Some secrets,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But that's the way we make this attitude to make tequila, taking care of the small details.
Yeah, and some of the small details, I think, what makes NOM 1414 so special is you have a variety of equipment, you have generations of experience, and then for Viva Mexico in particular, you guys own your agaves, and that allows you to have the ultimate control of your product. Obviously, right now we've got a little bit of a dip in agave prices, and so some brands are able to find agave that they wouldn't otherwise have. However, in a few years, when the prices go back up, you guys still have access to the best agaves because you own them. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what makes you different, other than having the agaves? What makes you different in terms of how you produce and just your point of view on making tequila?
That's a very interesting point.
Thank you.
Yeah. We make plants in a large period of time, so we are trying to protect ourselves in the time, because we have a lot of variations in the price of the agave and the amount of the agave that is available. So if you have your own fields of agave, you have protected. But everything starts. If you want to make a good orange juice, you have to have good oranges.
Yeah.
And that's the same in the agave. But if I'm going to sell a field of agave to the big companies, I sell all my plants of the agave, the ones that are very mature and the one that is not. And when we are picking our agave, our crew of jimadores, they pick only the mature, the very mature. And if the next plant is not mature yet, they left them there to get mature. So we are picking only the good piñas of agave that they are transported to the patios, and then we are going to cook them. But they are completely mature, so everything starts there. And also, all depends of the profile of the tequila. The crew of jimadores, they just strip down the leaves. And if I am going to sell, I'm not gonna say the name, the agave to a big company,
Sure.
and they ask me to be completely shaved, I sold the agave to them completely shaved. And for another one that they want more viscosity, I left 1.5 inches of the leaf of the plant. For our products, most of them we have some part of the leaves left in the piñas of agave. That's the reason that our profiles they have a very good viscosity.
They do. And when you're talking about like cutting the piñas, of course, not naming names, there are brands that have to buy by weight. So when they're buying agave, they might make decisions like shaving the piñas down so that they can pay a little less for their product.
That's the reason.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Whereas you guys have the ultimate choice because they're your agaves. If you want them a little thicker, you can have them thicker. If you want them shaved, I mean, whatever you want to do.
When they are buying the agave and they ask for the piñas completely shaved,
Yeah, red flag.
We have to do that.
Yeah.
It's up to them what kind of profile of they are gonna get with that kind of agave. If that agave is going to our distillery, all depends of the profile that we are going to prepare. We left 1 inch or 1.5 inches, or even those 2 inches. I'm talking Spanish. I said dos.
Yeah, dos. ¿Por qué no los dos? No, but it brings back a good point, right? You own all the components of your process, and that's really important. And I actually was at a pretty ridiculous restaurant the other day where I bought a $30 pizza. This was a pizza that was this big, and it was $30. And I ended up talking to the chef, and I asked him, how is it $30? And he said because the way that they have their tomatoes, they source them in from Italy, and their cheese is a special cheese, and their fermentation, which I want to talk about for you, they ferment their yeast for this pizza for 40 hours. So if you think about all the time and process that went into this pizza, that is now a $30 pizza, I equate it to tequila. Obviously, there's steps at the beginning, but the steps at the end are equally as important. And one of the things you guys are known for is how you ferment some of your different products. We've heard about the classical music in the distillery. Do you want to talk about that and some of the different fermentation methods that you guys do that make you unique, that other brands might be copying?
Well, I'm going to talk about that.
Just talk about
the
you.
Good things about us.
And we can always cut out that part.
The rest of the industry, they are trying to do as everyone. They wake up. Everybody wakes up in this world to work and to make the best thing. We have the knowledge and the ability to make good profiles. Yeah, so. The knowledge and the experience is the key, and if you want, if you are very hesitate to make innovations and to make new things, we try them, and when they are good, we apply for our products. I don't know if I'm saying properly, but
you get to test. You have so many brands, and when you see a brand that does something cool, you have the opportunity to say, is that something cool that I want to apply to a different brand, or is that something that I maybe don't want to do again? And so by having all that experience, 5 generations of experience, you uniquely have the chance to see what works and doesn't work and what works together and doesn't.
Yeah, very quick. When we start in the fields, we bring the piñas to the patio, we cut them in 2, and then we take away the cogollo. The cogollo affects the final part of the production.
Makes it bitter, right?
Bitter.
Yeah.
Bitter. And then we put it in the oven in a special way to let the steam go through. So what we want is to cook the agave in the same way in the outside part and in inside part. So it has to be only one tasting.
Like make it nice and even cook.
Exactly. Yeah, you speak better English than
I would hope I do. It's my main language. But you speak better Spanish than me.
Well, probably. I don't know. I don't know. And then we have the chance to cook the agave for 22 hours, 26, 28, or 30 hours. All depend how much caramel do you want in the tasting.
And what's the difference between like a 22-hour and a 30-hour in terms of the caramel taste?
If you are cooking longer period of time, you are losing more water and you are keeping more syrup, so it's gonna taste sweeter.
So is it fair to
I'm
say?
not gonna give you all the recipes, okay?
No, no.
Because
Well, I don't have.
everybody's here in that.
I don't have access to a distillery, so don't worry. I won't try to make your product. But is it safe to say then that the longer you cook the agave, generally, and the more time you take in that step, the sweeter your tequila could be?
Yes.
So it's all about like taking the right steps and taking your time to make a really solid profile then.
It's very easy to understand. If you have water with sugar and you put it in the fire, you are losing water and you're keeping the sugar there. So that liquid is gonna taste more sweeter than the first one. That's what happens in the ovens of cooking agave. Yeah.
So speaking of being sweeter tasting, I know it's the morning, but I would really love to try some of your products, and I think we have some of them here. Maybe we start. Do you like to generally start with blancos and move to añejo, or do you like to start with añejo and move down to blanco?
Well, it's a chronological order. It's going to be Blanco first of all. But there are a lot of things why tequila Blanco tastes more sweeter. When we have cooked the agave, then it comes the extraction. And we have two ways to extract, to squeeze the agave. One of them is the tajona, and the other ones are the meals. And in both of them, we spray some hot water to separate the fiber and get the sugar. So if we spray more water, the mosto, the juice that we collect, is gonna be less sugar. More water, less sugar. So
right.
If we spray less, and that's what we call bricks. And we may have 8 bricks, 10 bricks, 30 bricks, or 16 bricks. 16 bricks is more sugar.
Very sweet.
And less water. So the taste of the final product is going to be more sweet than if we add more water.
Okay, so this is your Blanco, and can I do the honors of pouring it?
Please.
Okay, it's 10:30, so how much tequila do you want? Is that good? More?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's put her over here. So this is cool. One of the things that I think if any people who know tequila, they know their noms. And one of the things that I always look for is what nom makes the tequila. And whenever I see 1414, which is you guys, I know that the tequila is going to be good. So this is obviously going to be good.
Yeah, this is the vase. Is the I don't know if this. Sometimes I invent the English, but is the trunk, and the rest are the branches. So this is the trunk. So this tequila that we are going to enjoy right now, it is made with champagne yeast.
Okay.
And the agave came from a ranch field that belongs to my grandfather, which name was Manuel, and probably, I'm not sure, it was my grandfather, whose name was Feliciano, same than my father. So, and the agave was 6 years old. 6 years old in these times, it's a very good mature agave. Because we have changed the good in the very old times. We left the agave in the not good fields. The good fields were for corn and beans, but now we switch. Now, yeah, because of the price of the agave and the boom of the tequila. So in 5 years, the piñas of agave are mature enough. But these ones that we made this tequila from, they are 6 years old. So let's taste them.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, there's a lot of agave on the palate. On the nose. Mm. I know that I'm biased here, but there's something about a 1414 Blanco that I love.
The presence of the agave is there. Mm-hmm. The cooked agave and the raw agave, and also you may guess that this tequila was made in a brick oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have metal tasting.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things, when I'm teaching people who don't know about tequila, one of the things I teach them is the difference between Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. And the way that I like to explain it is Blanco is very agave forward. And añejo is agave, but also a bit of oak just from the aging, and then reposado's in the middle. With this tequila and this blanco in particular, you get so much agave that if someone didn't know what agave tasted like, I would tell them, drink this, and now you know.
Yeah, and tasting. I have been attending like a 14 school of tastings. Some of them are very bluffers, and some other they use very words that very extravagant words
Yeah,
to make
always.
you impressed. But they are very good. So tasting it's something very easy. It's for five steps.
Okay.
In our opinion.
Five
okay?
steps.
Yeah, eyes, nose, mouth, swallow, and hangover. Those are those are the 5 steps. And it has to be easy. What we do in the School of Tasting of Jalisco is that we want to call the tasting with the same word. This is black.
Yes.
But I am not in your head to see if you see this black. Probably you see gray, but
Yeah.
But we call this color with the same word. That's the key to get along with those. So you like it or you don't like it. But if you close your eyes and you are tasting the tequila, in front of the tongue, you grab the sweet,
Yeah.
bitter, lager, and the other one I forget the name, the last one, the swallow. But most of the tasting and smells is because of the nose, 80%. So if you want to make an exercise here to see how the nose can do,
Yeah.
we will do. We are going to inhale, keep
Okay.
the air in the lungs, and then we are pour a small amount of tequila in the mouth. We go around and then swallow.
Okay.
And after that, with the mouth shut, we're gonna let the air go in a small motion, and you will find how different can you taste this tequila.
So
Let's go.
inhale through the
Yeah,
nose.
I'm gonna do it first if you want.
Okay. Okay. I've never done that before. Sorry, Mom. I'm going to inhale. Let's try this. Okay, so breathe in. Okay, that was really cool. That's a fun party
It's very
trick.
different. Try that, guys.
Wow. Sorry, Mom. I'm going to inhale again because that was a really cool process. So, wow. So that's different. And I know with a lot of people too, like they have different nostrils. Sometimes they'll smell more with their left or their right nostril, and one might be dominant. So, like,
Yeah, that is true
Yeah.
because of the hemispheres in your brain.
yeah.
If you go like this, you have some notes, and then you do the crossover, it's totally different.
It is. For me, like the right side is a bit sweeter for some reason, and the left is like,
Yeah, and in the right-handed, we got more notes here in the right side, and in the left side more alcohol.
yeah, that's what's happening to me.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
That's true. We finish it.
I know. I wasn't going to, but hard not to. So you also have a reposado, and of course now the reposado introduces your aging process. Thank you. Should I trade you? Yeah, thanks. So one of the things that I like to do, and we didn't do it on the first bottle, but you know I have that show, Techie Ladies, and we always ask people before they drink to make a toast and to cheers to somebody, and I feel like maybe we should cheers to people before we drink this. What do you think?
Are you gonna
Oh,
make
yeah.
a toast?
Oh, I'll make the first toast.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to toast to family businesses because they can be really difficult, they can be really rewarding, but at the end of the day, I think they're the reason we drink, and in your case, quite literally. So, to family business.
Wow. Well, now it's my turn.
Now it's your turn.
Okay, my toast is it's about to work with a perfect team. it's like a team of soccer. You cannot score the goals if you don't have the defense and the goalkeeper. So we make our part doing this with passion, with honesty, with everything we can in our hands. And this team here will make the goals, do the rest of the part. So to have a team with the same principles than we.
Perfect. Equipo perfecto?
Equipo perfecto.
Cheers.
Wow.
This is so good. Okay, so how is this different than your Blanco then? What do you do to make this Reposado so special?
Yeah, I have the chance now to have a revenge of my brothers when we get together. To have party. We met each other twice a week. Most of my brothers have Blanco, and my father and I used to have Reposado, and that's my favorite. And then we have Añejo. One of my brothers have Añejo. And when we went to the competitions, we won with Blanco and we won with Añejo. And I was mad because Reposado was my favorite.
Yeah.
But then in another, I have the chance that won also with Reposado. But Reposado is my favorite, and I'm gonna tell you why. The Blanco has the notes that we described a moment ago, but the tequila is the tequila but itself. In this moment, we are not gonna ask what the wood add to the tequila, but the tequila, if you left the tequila, it's opening new notes. So the perfect balance between the añejo and the blanco is the reposado because they haven't lost the raw materials, the raw tasting of the blanco. Right. So that's the perfect. I like very much the añejo and the extra añejo after dinner, but having only 2, 3, 4, 5. But if if we're gonna have a long party, let's say all the afternoon, we most of the time drink blanco and reposado. And the notes that I found here, I don't know you, but it's remember me those dry fruits. Let's say, of course, it has a little vanilla. Of course, it has. But if we ignore the nominate notes, we will find here dry fruit. Yes. Like those dry apricots. It's very present here. Yeah.
That was the first one that came to mind for me. And similarly, I do like reposado. I think when people are trying tequila for the first time, everyone gravitates to blanco. And that's a really great way to learn about a distillery. But I think the majority of people should start with a reposado. And for the exact reason you mentioned, it has a bit of blanco in it. It has a bit of añejo in it. It's sort of a nice middle ground. And then if you want a little more agave, go blanco. And if you want a little more oak, go añejo. But you should really start with reposado, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
So I like this, yeah.
Cheers.
I should try the same thing with the inhaling, right?
Yeah. You do. And because everything that you are eating and depends 80% because of the nose. Of the nose. And
well, I've been told that you're not supposed to brush your teeth before you drink tequila. My friend Sophie from Calle 23 said that, but I did brush my teeth this morning. I'm very sorry. So sorry if that messes up the tasting.
I did also. So
yeah, lo siento. All right, sorry, Mom. I'm going to inhale again.
Me too. You see?
It's so cool.
And coconut, cinnamon, all of those. That's what I said. We have the skill to ignore. I always give this sample. If you and me are talking in a very noisy place, and there are 2 persons talking also, and I can hear you, but if I focus in your conversation, I ignore the rest, and I can get what you are saying.
Yeah.
It's the same with the tasting. When you're tasting, first of all, you have to ignore the alcohol. And then the notes that dominate. And then you will find more than 100 notes. Tequila, it's a lovely spirit drink with a lot of notes.
Yeah. And I think
So it's very enjoyable.
one of the things that I think is intimidating about tequila, some people just have this assumption that they don't know how to drink it and, oh, I know it from college and whatever. But once you try a really good tequila like Viva Mexico, which doesn't even have to cost that much money, like a Blanco is what, $40, $50? For $50, you can try one of the best made Blancos in the world.
Do you think we should increase the price?
I mean, I'm not saying that, but I certainly would pay more for it because I know how it's made. It's made very like traditionally and with generations of experience. But I think one of the things that people need to think about when they're trying tequila is, again, like try all the expressions from a brand. If you try the Blanco, you're getting an idea of the agave. If you go to the Reposado, you get a little balance. And then the Añejo, you can sort of get more about how they're aging it. So instead of being scared and just trying Blancos all the time, try all three expressions and even an extra Añejo after dinner. And you can sort of learn a lot more and then trust your palate. And don't listen to other people telling you, oh, you have to like this, you have to like that. Like what you like.
Yeah, the only risk that I see for people that try that is that they won't want any other spirit drink. They
right.
will always drink tequila. That's something very addictive.
And I personally am that person.
Yeah.
It's tequila or bust for me. So I unfortunately fell for tequila pretty hard.
Yeah, we have changed those. We have a lot of work to do culturizing about tequila.
Yeah.
The tequila need to be kissed. The effects are absolutely is the best for the effects, but the tasting of the tequila is very important. And there are very good tequilas in the market. Of course, one of the best is Viva Mexico, but it's like everything in the world. If you love a restaurant, you're not gonna be in that restaurant all the time. You may have 5 or 6 restaurants.
Yeah.
That happens with tequila. You may have Viva Mexico, you may have Plantador, you may have some other brands, but the best. And there are a few brands that are good.
Yeah, and I think
the market.
Well, people like when people hear that I'm super into tequila, the first question that I always get is, well, what's the best tequila, right? What's your favorite tequila? And there is no right answer to that. And what I always tell people is choosing a favorite tequila is like choosing a favorite song. It really depends on your mood. So depending on my mood, it might be Viva Mexico Blanco. It might be Plantador Gold.
Bonito. That's
isn't that a
nice.
great one?
Yeah.
And then it also shuts down questions, which I really like too. But yeah, so this Reposado is excellent. Maybe we should try the Añejo next. What do you think?
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Okay, so now we've got the Añejo. What do you want us to know about that? How's that aged?
Okay, first of all...
Now it's 10:40, so okay.
Yeah, it's getting late, so...
Now we can have bigger pours. Okay, yeah, game on. Cheers.
Yeah, what we need to know about the Añejo is that let's imagine in a Tennessee whiskey barrel, which where aged this Añejo. At the beginning was Blanco, and the temperature of the room and the humidity, it's in centigrades, it's 18 to 22, the temperature. And the humidity, I don't remember, but it's
more humid or less humid than a New York City subway car.
No, the room has to be with the humidity to avoid gaps in the barrels.
Because it expands the barrel.
Yeah, because if you have gaps, you may lose liquid, and the evaporation is going to be too much. We calculate 8% of evaporations, the Angel's tax. They like very much tequila, and what we are losing at the beginning, it's a lot of water. So we are keeping the syrup. That's the reason that if you taste the Reposado and then the Añejo and then the extra Añejo, it's gonna be sweeter.
Yeah.
Than that. So the notes of dry fruit is gonna be harder, and the vanilla is gonna be very present. So let's try this.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's
We don't need to eat drinking tequila.
it's
It
like
has
dessert.
everything.
It's dessert, but in a very authentic way. It's not like an overly sweet sort of thing. It's kind of got some nuance to it. And again, the dried fruit is there, the oak is there. And I do want to do your like inhaling game again. So sorry, mom, again. It's wild, and I would recommend to anybody trying tequila to do that exercise. Like inhale in, try it, sort of swish it around, swallow, breathe out of your nose. It sort of accentuates some of the flavors, and they're coming across in my palate as I'm breathing out of my nose, which is really interesting. But I think it's also a different way of seeing it. So highly recommend.
Yeah, and also when you have a glass of tequila like this, you take time to swallow, and the taste keep there longer. That meaning good tequila.
Really?
When they
So-
keep there.
So however long it lasts, like if it lasts longer on your palate,
You
that's
don't
good.
need to go very often with that. But also, if you want to enjoy your conversation, once in a while you smell this, and wow, it's something.
I'm going to do that as you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very enjoyable to have a complex tequila like this one.
Yeah.
Because it has a very good taste, but it has also very good aromas that enjoy the conversation like this one.
Yeah.
Now I feel very comfortable. At the beginning, I was like a little bit nervous, but now we are okay.
Well, that's another thing that tequila does for you.
That's true.
Honestly, it's a beautiful bottle, and I love how the design is simple, but yet it gets the point across, right? Like, so you've got the brand here, and then on the front, is there a reason for this particular bird that you have here? Is there?
Yeah, this label was inspired in the we call retro, because we have a very good president in Mexico a long time ago. So some guys consider him a hero, and another guy's a bad guy. But was Porfirio Diaz, and Porfirio Diaz wants to be Mexico like France. So he brought a lot of things from France at that time, and was the period of time that Mexico progressed a lot. So everything here is inspired in I don't know if I said the proper word, and they were this seagull was the flag used to have this seagull,
Right.
and well, something near, because you cannot take that eagle and put it here. So
It's gotta be similar,
because of
inspired.
the registration. Yeah.
Sure.
But all the things were inspired in that period of Mexico.
And Viva Mexico is like a rallying cry, right? It means something.
Viva Mexico for us is long life Mexico, and come and enjoy what Mexico is. You are we are invited you to live what Mexico is. Viva Mexico means come and live with us the way we are. So come to enjoy to long life Mexico, and come and live what Mexico is. That's the meaning. And also, this is the beginning of our second name. Our name is Vivanco, so Viva is part of our name.
I can't believe I never got that before. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And you said it's what Mexico is. What is Mexico? Like, what's something that you think Americans might not know about Mexico, or might not think? Like, what's something?
Well, first of all, that I want to tell you is that Mexico is not our government.
Us
That's
too,
something
sir.
different. Yeah. I'm not. I'm very proud to be Mexican, and I love my people and I love my country. But Mexico, it's a place. Every time that you go to Mexico, if you start a conversation with the normal Mexicans, they are gonna be very kind with you, very warm, and they are going to try to say 2 or 3 words that they know in English, and they
LeBron
will,
James,
yeah,
basketball.
basketball.
I don't know what the third.
Yeah,
Hot
sandwich.
dog. Yeah,
Yeah,
a sandwich.
that kind of
A
stuff.
hot dog
Yeah.
is a sandwich, so same thing. Yeah, and I feel like with so I'm American, but my background is Italian, and my family's been going to Mexico for 20 years, which is one of the ways I got into tequila. And one of the things that really made my family love Mexico is how everyone made us feel like family when we'd go there. Everyone was super warm and was family oriented, which Italians can be sometimes. And, you know, it was all just like this wonderful, accepting culture. And that's the Mexico that I know. And that's the Mexico that I think comes across in your bottle in particular, because you have that family aspect, that 5 generations making this product.
Yeah, Italian and Spanish are very similar, because not even because of the religion, but the principles that we have. So it's very interesting. My father's name is Feliciano, and the name is Vivanco. So we don't know if we are from Spain or from Italians, because
Well,
the name looks like Italian, but we don't know. I don't know yet.
I want to believe that we're related. I did just delete all of my 23andMe data, so I will never know. But I'm going to believe that we're cousins. I'm telling myself we're
Probably, yeah.
cousins. But anyone can be your cousin and be your family if they try this, because I do think that it comes across as like a family product. Okay, so now we've tried all 3 of Viva Mexico. I have to say, I can't pick a favorite. I thought it was going to be Reposado, and I'm sorry to tell you, I love them all equally, much like children. But they're all excellent.
Yeah, I love all of them.
Okay, so now we've got Plantador, and admittedly, I haven't heard of this product before, but if I had seen this for the first time, you know the first thing I would do is turn the bottle around and look for the NOM. So I see 1414, that's you guys, that's a really good sign. But other than that, I don't know a whole lot. So what do people need to know about Plantador?
Yeah, that's a very good opportunity to me to talk about Plantador.
Okay.
We have gained through the years prestige with NOM 1414, but all the brands that we made in our distillery are 45 retail price are 45 or more.
Yeah, which is still a deal in my opinion.
Yes, but there are a niche of market that they go like less. Let's say less, because
Sure.
I don't know exactly what is the price, the retail price of this, but they want something in a less price than the others. But
They're making margaritas, they're doing something.
But we need to offer them something good.
Yeah.
Something. But how does it work? Because if I said this is better than this one, I'm not saying the truth. It's
Right.
different tasting, and this was made with drawn and wild yeast, both of them.
Okay.
So that makes us more production of alcohol in this. So it's more productive do this than champagne yeast.
Yeah.
When you have the mosto and you are fermenting, we got more alcohol in this.
With the wild yeast.
Yes, with the wild yeast. So we have the chance to lower price this, but it doesn't mean that it's less quality.
Right.
And we are gonna taste it, and you will know that it's different, but it's very good.
Well, I'll be
Very
honest.
good.
I'm going to be honest. And I'll tell you, though, so it sounds like you're taking the efficiency from the yeast, the difference in yeast, and you're passing that savings on to the consumer. When you could have just kept it at $40. You could have made it the same price, but instead you're taking that savings and efficiency and making this a little less expensive. Is that true? Nice. Okay, well, let's try it.
Yeah, let's try it. And Plantador, the name of Plantador is the person who put the son of the. When you have a plant of agave, when it has 2 to 4 years, through the roots give us hijuelos, sons, and we take the hijuelos out of the mother and we replant them. The person who plants there is the plantador.
Oh, I love that. So you're paying homage.
This is a person who is planting the plants of agave.
And that's one of the things that I think makes tequila so special is it is very labor intensive. And so that's why I hate watching people shoot it, because anything that made it to that glass has taken years, right? Years of growing agave, years of harvesting, years of making it. And it's at least a minimum of 5 to 6 years before it even makes it to your glass.
That's true.
So people now are starting to see humidors and like respect humidors, and I'm loving that. But the Plantador, this is the first time I'm hearing about them. And so it's really nice to give them some credit as well.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, let's pay them homage by drinking Plantador, which I'm very happy to do. You just let me know. Okay. Well, it's 11, so yeah.
It's 11 now.
Yeah, now I can have a little more.
Okay.
Okay. Cheers.
We're going to have a very long day today, right?
Yeah. Or a short one. Okay, so immediately the nose is different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very different. So what I'm getting on here, it's I don't know the right word. Maybe like a little brighter, more citrusy, more like I feel like citrus forward.
Let us start with the base.
Sure.
The other one, its base is champagne. And if you go deeper, you will find notes of champagne.
Yeah.
And here, you will find notes of rum,
Yeah.
Caribbean. This is
Yeah.
more Caribbean.
It is.
And the other one is more French.
It is. Yeah, that's actually a really good way to think of it. I think knowing the history also helps understand what you're smelling, what you're tasting.
Very different.
It's really bright. I really like this. And I think one of the things that people, in my opinion, sometimes do wrong is they'll find the cheapest liquor to make a cocktail, when really what they should do is find the least expensive quality liquor to make a cocktail. And this is a very quality liquor, and obviously it's available through Skurnik. And for about $30, you can have a quality base for your cocktail, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's an incredible price. Cheers.
Cheers. Wow. I really like that. And so that's rum yeast and wild yeast. So if you ever wanted to know what rum yeast tastes like, there you go.
Exactly.
So I understand you also have a gold Plantador. So let's try that. Okay. So
What time is it now?
11:15. What is a gold?
Yeah, and that's a good question, because here in the United States there are a lot of confusion about the gold. We have 2 categories of tequila, according with the regulation. 2 categories. One is tequila, and the other one is tequila 100%. And this tequila is what we normally say mixto.
Yes.
And these are and after that, we have 5 classes of tequila in each category. 5. One is blanco, the other one is joven. Well, I'm going to say it in English. One is blanco, one is silver, the other one is gold, the other one is reposado age, the other one is extra age, and the other one is ultra aged. So in Spanish is blanco, joven, reposado, añejo, and extra añejo.
Okay.
What is the gold? The gold is the blanco that you add some reposado or some añejo or some extra añejo.
So basically a joven.
It could be a very good tequila, because you are adding some añejo to the blanco. So that's what gold is.
Interesting. So you're able to have the agave forwardness of the blanco and then a bit of the aging through the añejo married together.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But it's different than reposado.
Yeah.
Because the reposado, it's grabbing with the time the notes of the oak.
Yeah.
And whatever the barrel is adding there. But here is the blanco, and you suddenly put something that was in the barrel. So the mix is different than
Yeah.
the reposado, so it's very interesting. This
Oh, that's interesting. So two very different ways of doing things mixed together. I'm excited to try this. Let's see.
okay.
11:15, so we can go a little heavier. Hey. All right. Fancy.
I'm able to do that because of the stopper.
Let me see this thing. Wow. And you got the Plantador on the front again. We love to see that. 40%. All right, let's do it. To family business.
Cheers. Salute.
Salud, dude. That's really good. Again, I'm getting like a bit of a brightness to it, some citrus. Knowing that there's rum yeast, I'm trying to taste for something like that. What barrels do you use in the añejo that gets mixed in here?
Tennessee whiskey.
Tennessee whiskey. I love Tennessee.
American oak.
That is really
Yeah,
good.
the sweeter is it's more sweeter than the blanco, right? Because
It is. And what's interesting is I would never guess. Now that I know the price of the Blanco, I'm going to assume that this is maybe 40. Can I get checked on that? What is it?
Just like a shade above the Blanco.
Stop. How much is it?
$2 more.
You're kidding me. I can't even get a coffee for $2 more. So I can get a Blanco and half a coffee, or I can get this for $28 to $30. Okay, well, that is pretty incredible. I don't see why people wouldn't buy this. This is excellent. I feel like everyone should kind of have this on their back bar, just like to have, because it's pretty accessible. Even with it being sweet, it's just kind of delicately sweet. And I feel like a lot of people who are new to tequila would like this too.
yeah, I will say that this has a perfect balance.
It does.
Yeah,
I'm not new to tequila, but I love it. 11:15, 11:20. Let's hit it. That's good. And you know what's interesting is, so I have the Plantador here, and then I have the Viva right here. And if I smell the difference, it's from the yeast, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not only the gist, but the time of cooking, the time that the reposado spent in the barrel, and this one was melted, the repo, the añejo there, and it's different.
It's really good. Anyway, cool. Okay, so now we've tried 5 different expressions from your distillery, but what's really interesting is, obviously we only tried 2 brands. Your distillery is known for having quality across a variety of brands. And so I have to commend you on that, because each brand is still very different, but somehow there's that binding factor of being NOM 1414 in it. And I think a lot of people really respect seeing those numbers. So congratulations on doing that.
Thank you very much, and we're gonna launch also the Tahona, the Viva Mexico Tahona. It's gonna be here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, so you know, it's interesting. A lot of people are super big Tahona people. They just are obsessed with the Tahona. And anyone who doesn't know, it's like a volcanic rock that crushes agave, and it's very inefficient, but some people believe that it maintains the integrity of the fibers of the agave better. So, you guys installed the Tahona very recently. In the fall, was it? Yeah, and I was really lucky. I got to go see it in October and December. You guys had an anniversary party in October. How many years were you celebrating?
30.
So 30 years your distillery's been around. You're still pumping out new products like Plantador. You're pumping out new methods like the Tahona. I mean, honestly, it's just an impressive story, and I think it's a story of resilience, and it shows how generationally you guys continue to adapt to an industry that's ever changing. So I love to see that. What do you think? Knowing that there's 5 generations, if we just kind of fast forward and think about the 6th, the 7th, the 8th generation, what do you think they're going to be doing?
The future is not ours to see, but I will. It's up to the new generations if they follow what we have done, what my father did, and it's up to them. But what I see is they are. All of our new generation is falling in love with this kind of work, and I was about to retire, and my 3 kids, they knocked my door, and they have a career, every one of them. I never pushed them to do what I have been doing, and they said, "Father, we want to talk to you," and I said, "Oh my God, probably they caught me with a girlfriend or something," but they said, "We love what you do and the way you do, but you are very engaged with your brothers. Can we do something like this?" And they show me a new project to make RTDs and hard seltzers and that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I love that. And I said, every single time that I'm ready to be retired, you pull me back to work. And they did, and that's what they're doing. So they are very involved with Viva Mexico Distillery, but they are doing something that is very similar.
Yeah. And the Discus data just came out for 2024, and ready to drink and canned really were growing. It's one of the things that I think generationally with the millennial and Gen Z generations is really taking off. And part of that, I think, is because it's a flight to quality. And when you have a cocktail that's pre-mixed and it's in a can, you know what to expect. And so I think it's like kind of like a flight to knowing the expectation and knowing what you're going to get. That's my guess.
Yeah, and that's what they see.
Yeah.
And, this is something new, and they're gonna have an RTD with NOM 1414 tequila.
When?
And,
I want that.
Viva Mexico tequila, and Paloma, or any kind of drink.
Really?
Yeah, we're going
Cuando?
to prepare that pretty soon.
By
soon.
12?
Be prepared.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to trying that. I'm also looking forward to finding this someday. And one of the things that I do when people visit me is I put tequila in decanters so that people don't see the bottle and they don't know what they're drinking. And I try to see, do they know quality? And I do that in two different ways. Sometimes I'll take one of the worst tequilas I have, I'll put it in a decanter, and then I'll have them try it and go, oh, isn't this great? And if they think it's really good, then I know, their palate's influenced by other people. But I think something like this would be really fun to do too, because if they don't know the price of it and they try it, I think that they would probably think
that's a good idea, because
Yeah.
if they know the price, they will be influenced.
Yes, there's a perception of quality impacted by price. And I think that works in two ways. Like some people see terrible tequilas that are $100 for a Blanco, and they assume it's good because of the price. But in actuality, that's not always the case. So do your own research, trust your own palate.
That's a very good idea. That's what we do also when they have doubts. We made a blind taste, and that's the key.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to be a part of a lot of blind tasting panels. And one of the things that I've learned is either I have a really cheap palate, or I just really like well-made tequila agnostic of price. And I think this is one of those. It's a well-made tequila that the price has no relevance on its quality, only to the extent that it's been passed on to the consumer in terms of savings. So I'm looking forward to picking this one up. Figuratively, because literally I can do it right now. So obviously, for many people, the best tequila is subjective and the perfect tequila is subjective. But for you, the maker of countless high-quality tequilas, what is the perfect tequila?
Well, I'm going to put it this way. The destiny, when you bike, that there is something that I like and you like, we don't like the goal. We like the road. Our destiny is the road, not the goal. So when you're making tequila, you have innovation and you have every single day task to be better. But the perfect tequila doesn't exist. We will make better tequila in a few years. You will see. And that's my comment. I don't know if I answered your question, but it's something that we it's our task, and we love what we are doing. It's like a singer. You don't know if you're gonna be a star, but you like to sing, and you're every single day trying to be better. That's what we do.
Yeah, the journey is the destination in many ways. And if you just sort of enjoy the ride and do the right steps, what you can make is pretty incredible.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. It was an unbelievable honor to get to speak with you. And cheers. I love all your tequila very much. And now that it's 12, I can drink them all. So cheers.
No, thank you very much for having me here. And this is an opportunity to let them know, the people who is going to see this, to what we do. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Anytime. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.